Hey, Katie, I can't hear you very well. Like I could hear you before you hit record, and then all of a sudden you get
Can you
quiet.
hear me now? I don't know.
Better.
I don't want to be breathy girl tonight, so I can't get my microphone too close. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, that's
Is it
perfect. That's
okay?
good.
Okay.
Yep, it's okay.
Okay, here it goes. Nothing. Hey, Kim and Katie.
Hey, Nay.
Hey, Nay.
Well, I'll tell you what's on my mind.
What?
Okay.
Can't wait.
Something I don't want to talk about.
Ooh, even
Oh,
better. Okay,
Natalie
even better.
Portman.
Natalie
You
Portman.
you've gone on a date with her, and you don't want Lisa to know.
Yeah. This is the perfect setting to talk about it.
Yes, yes.
No, being tangry.
Tangry. Okay, let's think about this.
Yeah, it's not
Angry
What is being
and
it's not
tangry?
hangry. It's not hangry. It's tangry. Oh,
it's something you're angry because of
tangry.
something that starts with a T.
And this affects
Hangry.
me. Hangry affects me, but this affects me the most of
Even more.
anything, probably.
Really? Oh,
Yeah.
okay. This is a deep
Yeah.
subject for Nay. Let's see.
People wearing tan
Tan?
makes you
No.
tangry.
No. It's something has to do with him and T.
Yeah.
Something that is
You
Oh.
might
going on.
Hmm.
you might want to say it more like tangry.
Tired.
Oh, tired.
Okay, you're tired. Oh,
Whenever I get really tired, I just struggle to not be snappy a little bit. Like I try to be
really?
nice and everything, but that's my
Oh,
hardest thing. More than hangry,
really?
more than anything
Oh,
else is tangry.
Well,
tangry.
I don't think
Okay.
you're alone in that, Nay. I think when people are tired and I think people tend to get a little short-tempered.
Snippy.
Yeah,
Well,
Yeah.
nippy,
it's super
Snippy.
famous with
snippy.
kids for sure. Like when we
Nip.
had little kids and they were acting up like any reason, they need a nap. It's just
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
and it's the same with adults, kind of.
Yep.
Yeah, I think
hmm
so.
Yeah, I can see Nay because what you're saying, not I can't see it. I've never noticed it. I'm saying what you're saying makes sense because you're always positive.
Yeah.
So to have anything make it so that you're kind of irritable is surprising to me.
Oh,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
yeah. Well, we've got to put on our best faces in public, don't we?
Yes, we
Yeah.
do. Yeah. Now,
Yeah.
why are you so tired tonight?
Oh, ended up staying up super late last night.
Oh, yeah.
No real
Okay.
reason.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, you're warning us because you're going to be a little tangry tonight with us.
Yeah.
Exactly. So
Good.
Tangry.
Thanks for the heads
I
up.
if I'm
Yeah.
rushing us or anything like that, now everybody knows why.
Okay. And we'll forgive
Okay.
you quickly. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. After last week's episode, we talked about being nice.
Mm-hmm.
And that very next day, we had a plan to go out to dinner with a group of other couples. So I thought, perfect
Okay.
chance to try out the skills.
Yeah.
So we went to dinner. I wish that I had a better report. I really wish because I went there
Okay.
with remembering all the things. But then I got there, people started telling stories, and I started telling, like, matching their stories, just what we were
Yeah.
talking about, how I shouldn't
Right.
do. And it wasn't until like halfway through that I'm like, wait a minute, I got to stop doing that. So, I mean, I did better at the end of it, but the beginning, I was back to my old ways. And I really am like, this is such a stupid way to be. So at least I realized.
Yeah. Yeah.
So anyway,
That's like a step forward. That's the first
yeah,
step. So
yeah.
I
I'm
think that's
like,
great.
well, thank you.
I actually thought a lot about Kim's thing that she said about why would someone not smile back, and we were like, give them the benefit of the doubt. We don't know what's going on in their mind or on
Oh.
their
Mm-hmm.
day. Because I'm always in public, passing people in the halls and stuff. And so I always am at that stage rather than the talking seriously stage. And
Uh-huh.
almost everybody smiles back or nods back,
Mm-hmm.
something like that.
Yeah. Well,
So
yeah.
I
I
don't
mean,
think I got anyone that I smiled at that didn't acknowledge me.
Yeah.
right.
I would say
I'm just
majority
saying
of people
sometimes
smile
when you're
back.
deep in thought,
Mm-hmm.
someone may not.
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, that I'm glad you reminded us though, because once we talk about it, kind of like you when you went to dinner, puts it in your head, makes you
Mm-hmm.
kind of think about it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good.
So,
That's what I like about our some of our episodes is
mhm,
I just go away with some good things
yeah,
to
for
put
our own
into
lives.
life. Yeah, yeah, and it helps me.
All right. Okay, you guys. I got these stories that I'm going to read to you guys.
Okay.
And one of the stories is true. So you guys have to figure out which of these
Oh, I like
scenarios
this.
is the
Yeah.
true story.
Is it
Because
true
these
about
things,
you?
no. Oh man,
Okay.
that would be awesome, wouldn't
See,
it?
that's what we should do. You know, the two lies and a truth.
Yes, and one
We should
truth.
do that
Yeah.
sometime.
But my life isn't, it's like one of those things where people ask you say something interesting about yourself, and it's like,
I know, but
like I
you'd
never
find
could
something.
think
It
of
doesn't
any.
have to be
And then all
interesting.
of a sudden, someone's like, well, you should tell them you do a podcast, and then you should tell them this and this. And I was like, oh yeah, I just never think about
Mm-hmm.
things,
Yeah.
you know. Anyway, no, these are just stories that I was reading about, and I thought, oh, I like them. So I thought I'm going to
Okay.
see if you guys can tell which one is the true story.
Okay.
All right,
How
so
long are they?
they're just really
Short.
short.
Okay.
It's A, B, and C, like, and
Okay.
Okay.
then you're guessing. Okay, very
Okay.
short, like a
Okay.
sentence long. Okay. A lighthouse keeper arrived at work to find an entire crew missing from the island. Meals still on the table, chairs knocked over, and no sign of a struggle. That's story one. Okay,
Okay.
the second one. I'm going to say story A. That's story A. Story B. A, a night security guard watched CCTV footage of someone walking the halls of a closed museum, only to discover the footage was recorded years before he started working there. Okay, and story C. A man received letters addressed to him every year on the same date from someone who had died decades earlier. All right, so which story do you guys think is the true story?
Okay. Well, the one I want to be true and that my guess is C.
See. Okay, the letters.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
My guess
Okay,
is
Nay.
A. My guess is A. It seems more realistic and plausible.
Okay, Nay is right. That is a true story. This was
Okay.
the famous disappearance of the lighthouse keepers on a remote island in the early 1900s. That's true. The guy walked like no he doesn't know no one knows whatever happened to the people that were there. They disappeared. No one ever found out whatever happened to them. So that was the true story.
Okay.
Okay, now you kind of see how it goes. Okay, now here's the
Oh, okay.
round two.
Okay.
Okay. Story A. Construction workers renovating an old house found a hidden room filled with hundreds of photographs of strangers taken secretly over decades. Okay, story B. A hiker discovered an abandoned village where every clock had been stopped at the exact time. Okay, story C. A family found an old safe buried in their backyard that contained cash, rare coins, and a mysterious note hinting at a crime from the past.
Okay, my guess is A. I'm just guessing the one that sounds the funnest and I hope is true.
Okay. A. The construction workers
Yeah,
renovating
with
the
the
house.
room.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
A
like a
hundred
dream of mine.
photographs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay.
I'll go with C.
The
Okay.
money.
The finding a
Nay
buried
is
safe.
Nay is right again.
Wow,
Yes.
Nay. 2 for
Yes.
2. Good
There,
job.
that has,
That
I
might,
mean, found buried treasured in their yards. I mean, that is probably the most
yeah.
plausible, but still.
Well,
Okay.
I was gonna
Here's the
go with
second.
A because that happens. That's happened to me in our old house, where we were
Really? You
changing and
found
we
hundreds of photographs?
not the photographs, but we found like some space that had never been that was like walled in and had never been developed under it. Like we knew.
wow.
Well, anyway, it happened to us, but not with. I mean, there was
Photographs.
interesting stuff that had been
What was in
garbage.
it? What
There
was
was
the.
like cow bones and old bottles and
Oh, that's
Oh,
interesting.
yeah.
yeah,
Wow.
that is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. I would love to find something like that
Yeah,
in an older
me
house.
too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. A group of hikers found a camera in the woods and developed the film, discovering photos of themselves from earlier that same day, taken from a distance.
Ooh.
Okay. That's scary, huh? A
Mm-hmm.
hospital patient repeatedly complained that someone was standing at the foot of their bed at night. Staff later discovered another patient with dementia had been wandering into rooms and silently watching the patient sleeping. That's story B. Okay, story C. A man discovered that his neighbor had been collecting his trash for years in order to build a detailed psychological profile of him as part of a personal experiment.
Ooh. You go first, Nay.
Um, Gee, that one seems a little harder. I'm gonna go with B. I could the
Yeah.
dementia
Okay,
lady.
the patient.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think B is the right answer, but staying true to myself, I'm gonna say C, the one with the trash collecting.
Okay.
That would be my backup as well.
Okay. It's B.
Oh,
Yes,
Yeah.
the lady was
3 out of
standing in. Yeah.
sorry, 3 out of 3. Nay, that should turn your frown upside down for
I
tonight.
know.
yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Winning, winning, winning.
How
Yeah,
can
winning,
I?
winning. Okay.
What job do you have to guess the true story
I
out
know.
of 3? I need to
Well,
get that job.
I
a
know.
detective,
Yeah, detective.
interview, like at the lie people who have to do human lie detectors or
Mm-hmm.
Oh
whatever. I
Oh
yeah.
don't know.
yeah. Ooh, that'd be cool.
Okay, this is the last of the batch.
Okay.
A family kept hearing scratching. Oh, hold on. Okay. A family kept hearing scratching sounds in their walls and assumed it was rats. But when pest control opened the wall, they found a person living in the crawl space. That's story A. Story B. A man received a letter in the mail from his deceased father that had been accidentally delayed in the postal system for over 20 years. Story C. A woman woke up to find her smart home assistant had turned on in the middle of the night and was playing recordings of the conversation from earlier that day.
Go ahead, Nay.
Say the 3 again.
All 3.
Well, no, just remind me
Okay.
what.
So the first story was a family kept hearing scratching
Oh
sounds and
yeah.
thought it was a
Okay.
rat, but it was actually a person living in the wall.
Right.
The
Yeah.
second one was the man received a letter in the mail from his deceased father.
Oh yeah.
The postal it had been lost in the postal
Yeah.
system
20
for 20
years. Yeah.
years.
Mhm.
And then the woman woke up to find her smart home assistant
Oh
had turned
yeah.
on and was playing the conversation from earlier that day.
I'm gonna go with the letter, and my backup will be the smart home.
Okay.
I'm gonna do the scratching on the wall. A.
Hey, Katie got this one right. It was a
Woo!
person
Yes.
living in their house, which
Yeah.
I've actually heard of
Me too.
multiple
Me
times
too.
now. And I thought that'd be creepy if you found out that someone had been living in the walls of your home.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't
Yeah.
that be so creepy? I'd
So
hate
creepy,
that.
but very exciting at the same time.
Yes.
To
Oh,
see
wait,
where they
there's one.
lived and to see
Yes.
kind of what their,
Oh,
life
yeah.
is like.
Well, as long as they weren't like, I don't know,
They're
I just
harmless.
read stories about that.
I
Yeah.
know it is
All
scary.
right.
It's so scary.
I've got I've got one more,
That's
and this one's a good one
Okay.
too.
that's
All right.
exactly before you go on. I'll just point out that's exactly what happens to Bruno in Canto.
Yeah, Bruno. Mm-hmm.
Oh, I haven't seen that movie yet.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
it's so good. I love it
I
because
know,
it's
I gotta
all
watch it.
Latin stuff, and the music is
Yeah,
really fun. Yeah, but when you don't have kids, but
I know, but I have
play it
grandkids.
for your
Anyway, okay.
grandkids.
So last three stories. Story A man received a phone call from his own number while he was at home alone. When he answered, he heard only static until he later discovered his phone had accidentally recorded a voicemail of him speaking in his sleep. So while he was sleeping, he hit, record like the
Mm,
anyway, and it was his own voice. Anyway,
mm.
okay, story B. A hotel guest complained about a strange smell in their room. Staff eventually discovered a body hidden inside the mattress,
Ooh.
which had gone unnoticed for days while other guests continued to stay in the room. Okay,
Hmm.
story C. A security camera in an empty office building captured chairs moving overnight, which was later traced back to an automated cleaning robot malfunctioning and bumping into the furniture.
Gosh, those three are
B.
weird.
Yeah.
Um,
Which one do you want to be true?
I know that's what I'm trying to. What was the first one again?
The the man received a phone call from his own number while he was
Uh,
home alone. He answered.
right.
There's
It was his own
static.
voice. Yeah, I don't
Yes,
like
yeah.
any three of those. I'll go with
The hotel guest
yeah.
complained
That
of a
one I
strange
don't believe.
smell.
Yeah, but I guess because I mean, how do you stick a body in a mattress at a hotel?
That's the
But
one I'm
Yeah.
gonna go with is
I
B.
know. Well, you're probably right.
Oh,
See, I liked it up until the whole like it was some robot.
Automated robot. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. I guess A, even though I don't
Okay.
think that's true.
Well, it is B. And in fact, that's happened like a
A
ton
lot,
of
huh?
times. Bodies have been stuffed in mattresses in hotel rooms,
Hotels.
and then they
Wow.
don't discover it until, of course, the starts stinking. So people in the time
Wow.
before it really starts stinking has been sleeping
On a
on
dead
top
body.
of dead
Well, I
bodies.
mean, how often has that happened? I mean, what are we
Well,
talking
it did
about
say
here?
how often, but it
But
said
it's
more than you
often.
think.
Wow. That
Not
is
just a one
gross.
time, yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess if you need to hide a body, that's where
Hotel.
you hide it.
Yeah.
Yep.
that
And
is a
that
good
gives you
one.
enough time to get,
To stuff it in there and get
get
out of the
on your
country.
way, get down to Mexico.
Yeah. Anyway, so you did very good.
Yay, nay, he's the
They
winner.
won. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, good. And your consolation prize, Katie, is that you get to go next.
Yoo-hoo!
Yay! Okay, well, I'll take you up on that consolation prize because what I've prepared for us tonight is to talk about food trucks. What are your
Ooh, I
guys'
love that
take on food
idea.
trucks?
I want to do a food truck.
I know Kim and I have a dream of doing a food truck, of
Yeah.
running one.
So I
But
like it.
yeah, but what do you think about eating at them? Nay?
Oh, yeah, they're
Oh,
First
pretty
of all,
fun. They're
have you
usually
done it much?
overpriced, it seems like, but that's because they're at like fairs or concerts or whatever, and
mm,
so they can charge whatever they want because they're so convenient. But
Hmm.
I mean, it's often good food. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, hopefully, our little talk tonight will give us a better perspective because I have learned a bit about food trucks in my
Okay.
studies. What about you, Kim? Do you like them? Do you go to them
I love.
much?
Well, it depends. If they look dirty and gross, I will never go to a food truck.
Mm-hmm.
Ever. I will
Mm-hmm.
not. But I mean, if it's like seems clean enough, I'll go. But if I look at it and it looks like scummy people, like if it looks like a woman wearing a hat and then a scarf and blowing her nose.
Oh, shut up. She's describing
I'm
me.
talking about Katie.
One
No, but
one time we did a hot chocolate stand and I was wearing all this stuff because
a
it was
homeless
cold.
person.
Yeah.
It was cold.
It was cold. Yeah, Kim and I have dipped in the concessions world a little bit
Yeah.
over the years,
Mhm.
but it's different than the
It's
food
actually
truck.
really fun. Yeah,
It's
food
so
truck
fun.
is different.
Yeah. And okay, this is what's interesting to me. I was listening to another podcast. They were talking about food trucks, and they had the guy on there that started this latest craze of food trucks. His food truck kind of started it in LA, and it was called Kogi, Kogi. Very famous
Okay.
food truck. Yeah, and he's still doing it. And but anyway, so as he was talking, I realized that food trucks have been part of my whole life. I have always been around taco trucks and stuff, but my guess is you two haven't.
Mm-mm.
Yeah,
No,
and I
not
have never
until
thought
really
about
the
that.
last 20 years.
Yeah,
I mean, really.
right. And I have never thought about that. It's just because I grew up in California where the food trucks, taco trucks were a part of since the 70s. That's really where it
Mhm.
started. And so I grew up seeing, especially taco trucks. And so it didn't really dawn on me when this newer thing happened in the mid 2008, that was kind of new to hear. I just was like, oh yeah, food trucks. That's been a part of what I've always seen. So I kind of found that interesting. That's why I kind of delved into it because I was like,
Mhm.
well, what is the deal? Why is that not? And I asked Dan, and he said, yeah, food trucks weren't. I never saw food trucks
Mm-mm.
growing up. So
But
that's why I guessed.
when you say in 2008 new here, you mean Utah?
Yeah, just in society. So I'll give you the rundown of the history of food trucks really quick.
Okay.
So they've been around since the 1800s, and they were in horse-drawn wagons back then for workers, like out in
Sure.
fields and
Yeah.
things like that.
Yeah.
So it's not like a new concept. Um, the first original food truck was called the Chuck Wagon, and it
Mhm.
had sandwiches, soup, and coffee, pretty much. And
Oh, I thought
that
you meant that the chuck wagon served the purpose. Like, I mean, the first food truck was the chuck wagon, like on the
Yeah.
trails.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
I said. Isn't it what I said?
Oh,
Mhm.
that's what you meant?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
That's the
Uh-huh.
original food truck.
Oh,
It
well,
was
it did.
called the Chuck Wagon.
Yeah.
It was a
Right.
guy. His
And
name
I,
is.
right. And I thought you meant actual chuck wagons were the original food truck, because
Oh,
that's kind of what
I
they
see.
were. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No,
But,
this guy was named at the Chuck Wagon. I
right.
guess.
Because of
Yeah.
that.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, and
Yeah.
then in 19. So that was let's see, in the 1800s. So and then in 1936 came the Wienermobile, which is the Oscar Mayer Wiener.
Oh, yes. That was
You know,
1936.
36.
Yes.
Yeah, way back then.
Okay.
And
Okay.
they would serve hot dogs, of course. And then
Yeah.
World War II, there was an influx of food truck type things because
Mhm.
of the war and the efforts in like helping people eat and I don't know. Anyway, there was an influx. So then in the 1950s came the ice cream truck. So that was
Mhm.
a popular thing. The 1960s, there were chip trucks that would serve chips, which I've never
Oh.
heard of, but I would enjoy.
Mm. Yeah.
And then the 1970s brought in the taco trucks, and that
Okay.
is mostly in California where the immigrants were. You know, they came from Mexico and started up taco trucks. And
Okay.
that's, I was born in 1971, so that explains why taco trucks were
Mhm.
very familiar to me all growing up.
Yeah.
So, and they were called in the 1980s roach coaches, which was a very derogatory term to call a food
That's
truck.
probably why I've always been like gross.
Gross, yeah. And so in 1974, a guy named Raul Martinez started a taco truck called King Taco Truck in
Okay.
1974. And his first night he opened up at a East LA bar, and he sold $70 worth of tacos on his first night. And then from then on, he'd make about $150 a night. And then soon after, he started Taco Bell.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
So
cool.
Taco Bell originated as King Taco, a taco truck.
Okay.
Okay, so then jump to 2008. That's when, and this is who I heard on another podcast talk about his Kogi food truck that he opened in LA, 2008, and it was a taco with Korean kind of taste,
Oh, okay.
Korean barbecue. And what made
Okay.
his situation go nuts was social media. He was able to put on there where the truck would be, and so then people would go there to, and so you'd line up for 3 or 4 hours at his truck to get his tacos. And
Whoa.
then it was the social media that would then lead everyone to wherever he parked. And that's what ushered it in, was this Kogi food truck. And then chefs in the late 2000s, when we had an economic downturn, in the late 2000s, when businesses were shutting down, especially restaurants,
Hmm.
even high-end restaurants, there were chefs that couldn't find jobs, so they started getting food trucks going. and
Oh,
and because they could take their skill and just on the road in a food truck. So this is
yeah.
some of the things that I like learning about food trucks. Is like, Nay, you mentioned they're expensive. Well, they are if you consider them like compared to like McDonald's or fast food. But food trucks really are restaurants on wheels. So if you think about restaurant pricing, and some of them are high end food, and they're making all that food by hand generally in the food truck. So you're having a restaurant experience, but in a mobile truck. So
Well,
it
it
kind of,
is. It is quite often specialty food for sure. Whether
yeah,
it's high quality or not, it's
yeah,
something
that's debatable.
special, something
Yeah,
something kind of niche, something kind of special. So,
right. And they're
so that's
making
true.
it,
Yeah.
yeah, and they're making it homemade generally.
Right.
As if you were in a restaurant being served, the menu, and
Yeah, you order and they make it there. Yeah.
right, right. But
Yeah.
they're just doing it in that small confined
Yeah.
space, but they're, bringing their restaurant
Hmm.
best to you.
Yeah.
It's just in a different setting.
Hmm.
And
Yeah, I guess that's true.
yeah,
50-50
Hmm.
maybe. I don't know. They don't always order and then make, do they? Don't they often have like counters and stuff? I don't know.
what
Well,
now?
you order and they make it.
Generally, we're talking, this is just what I learned, like generally they're more like chefs in there cooking food for you. They're not like what Kim and I were, which were concession workers
Yeah,
giving
concession.
you,
Yeah.
a bag of chips and, a pretzel. They're like making dishes. So whether it's
Hmm.
waffles or Korean food, or it's, they're generally in there doing their thing. And then,
Yeah.
yeah,
Like I've been or the Navajo taco food truck, they have the dough, but they're like doing the fry bread and
yeah,
like
and
making
frying
it, then
it, and
getting, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So you're getting
Okay.
restaurant
It's not
food.
just sitting in a warmer.
No,
It's like
Oh,
being made.
it's being
Yeah.
made. Yeah, and that's the
Hmm.
tradition of a food truck, is like it's made food for you.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I liked thinking of it that way because I don't know if I've ever really thought about it so much. I mean, taco trucks have always been like that. They make their meat, it sits there, they fry up your whatever, and they give it to you, and it's freshly made food. And that's, I mean, I'm sure there's plenty of food trucks out there that are doing it differently, but that's the traditional thing about food trucks, is it's restaurant quality, or even more interesting, brought to you in a more relaxed setting, rather than sitting in a restaurant and having a waitress bring it to you and stuff like that. So anyway, that's pretty much it.
Well, well,
But
also,
I thought I'm going to really look at food trucks differently because I haven't really thought of them that way. And I've kind of
yeah.
taken them for granted, I think.
Well, also, I was just thinking because there's this a corn dog truck, and I mean, it has the hot dog, but they actually have the batter that they dip there in the
Mm-hmm.
food truck, put it in the deep fryer,
Yep.
fry it, then
Mm-hmm.
you get it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like I think
The
you're
world's
right. Like
greatest.
food, yes, food
Yeah.
trucks prepare the food in there, and concessions maybe is a little bit different.
Yeah.
Like it's
Concessions is just a little,
yeah,
you and I ran
yeah,
concessions, but we're not,
yes,
if we
yeah.
were to run a food truck,
Food truck,
it would be a
yeah,
whole different thing. We'd come
yeah.
up with
Like there's that,
recipes and,
yeah. Well, there's
mm-hmm.
that food truck in Capitol Reef that we go to in Torrey, and it's that burger truck, and they fry
Capital
your
Burger.
hamburger. Yeah,
Yep.
Capitol
All
Burger.
freshly
It's
made.
delicious. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. And it is pricier. But if you
Yeah.
think of it as a restaurant, not a fast food, which fast food is not made fresh generally. Fast food is like when you go to McDonald's, everything's pre-made and they're heating it up or frying it up.
Right.
Where a food truck is is a restaurant type. Yeah. Does that? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, the first really thing, not the first thing I'd heard of food trucks before, but one of the early things where I ran into a lot of food trucks was when we had sister-in-law get married. Remember?
Yes.
And they had
Yeah.
at
Oh
their
yeah,
wedding, they had like four or
a
five.
taco truck and a donut truck.
Yeah. They had
They
food
have a
trucks.
few? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They had like 4 or something like that. Yeah. That was fun.
So
Yeah.
that was fun. It was in the summer, and you just wandered around outside, mingling and eating from food trucks.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It was a fun event.
And that was kind of
Oh,
when they were getting cool. I mean, they were already cool, but it was
Mhm.
kind of a neat idea still. Kind of a
Yeah.
neat idea.
well,
Yeah.
Matt and I once when when we went to Portland, we were walking around, and I mean, food trucks. This was maybe back in well, no, probably 2007 ish, 8. Anyway, I don't know, maybe 12.
It would
Who
be
knows?
after
Anyway,
probably 2008, probably after that.
yeah,
Somewhere between
yeah.
the
It was
90s and
well. I'm trying
2012.
to. Yeah, well, probably 2012, 2013.
Yeah.
Anyway, the point is we were in Portland, and we turned a corner, and we hit the street, and there were a million food trucks. It was awesome. It was like, what the heck? Like, and
Mm-hmm.
everyone was out there, and you could order. I mean, there were so many options. I couldn't even believe my eyes. Like, I was
Mm-hmm.
like, what
Oh,
in the
that's so
heck?
fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you don't see that necessarily here unless you're at a fair like Nay, but this was like maybe how you grew up. I don't know, but it was like, I was like, the heck is this?
What is this? Yeah. No, I didn't see it like that growing up. I just saw taco trucks a lot. I just
Oh,
saw on corners taco trucks.
yeah,
Like you'd
yeah,
see it.
yeah,
And that was just kind of part of, so when food trucks came along, I just thought, oh, they're like the taco trucks,
yeah,
parked somewhere.
yeah.
And I was listening to this guy, like I said, on a podcast talk about it. And like they have, they get their permits through the city. So
Mhm.
let's say he sells that Kogi in LA. So he has, and you can park anywhere you want. You can set up anywhere you want, except there's a few rules. You can't be by a school. You can't be within 500 feet of other restaurants.
Oh,
And, you have to be legally parked. But you can literally go around and pick your spot and then just set up anywhere as long as you have your permit and your car is legally, registered and stuff like that.
right,
So it's
right.
really a cool thing because you can kind of go around and, have your spots. And then with social media where you can post where you are, it's like
Yeah,
that's put a whole new layer on the whole thing. So,
yeah, yeah. I love
um,
that.
and it's a real grind. Like he was saying, like there's not like, the food industry is a passionate industry. Like you're doing it because
Mhm.
it's kind of your family has always done it. You have these recipes that are delicious and you just like to, um, get it out to people
Yeah.
and stuff like that. And, it's a real labor of love.
But the profit margins are razor thin, you mean?
Well, he didn't say that, nothing like that, but it's a I mean, you're probably
It's not
earning the money
easy.
you make.
People probably
It's not an easy
think
buck.
it's easy. Yeah,
Yeah.
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 But what did you say this guy made? Sorry, I didn't hear. Kogi,
Kogi,
whatever.
it's like Korean
Oh
taco
yes, tacos.
tacos with a
Uh,
Korean taste to it.
Korean. Yeah,
And he
that's
was
right.
young, like he had grown up in the food business. His dad, his parents had always had restaurants and things like that. And
Hmm.
him and his buddy one day were like, let's start a taco truck, but make it be like this Korean fusion of taco
Yeah.
and Korean because they had that background. And so they just
Hmm.
sat down, made their recipe, started it up, bought a truck. It was an old ice cream truck or something. They were kind of just winging it on their own. And they started up on Thanksgiving weekend of that year of 2008 in LA. And they just took off like because of social media. They were able to like
Right.
get it out there and like use that. And they were the first ones to really like do that. And I do remember around here when I started hearing about that, like you follow certain
Yeah.
food trucks and you
Food
figure out where
trucks.
they are and you
Hmm.
go
Hmm.
and
Yeah.
and there were some people talking about how they prefer food trucks over restaurants because they like the freedom of just going up, getting your food, sitting where you want. You don't have a waitress. You don't have to, you know, do all the niceties of sitting in a restaurant that
Yeah.
feels very free and fun to them.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm going to
That's fun.
partake in them more often, I would say, when I see them after kind of researching on them because I don't know. It just seems like I didn't have a very clear view of what they are really. I just thought like they were like you and me, Kim, doing concessions,
Yeah. Yeah.
but
Yeah.
they, I don't know that I'm sure that there's so many that I've passed up because I mean, you do think about the price if you're comparing it to like fast food, you are paying more. So sometimes I'm like, oh, that's kind of a lot. But now I'm not going to think of it that way. I'm going to totally think of it as like, actually, this is like a night out eating at a restaurant.
Yeah.
So
Hmm.
it's totally
If
fair,
I
fairly
ever run
priced.
into a food truck that's selling Navajo tacos, I
Yeah,
always go and
it's
get
a
it.
done
Yes,
deal.
always.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes.
yeah. And I like pretty much any Mexican food truck. I mean, that's like a done deal for me. Like I just love that stuff, and it's always very
Yeah.
authentic. It's always so delicious. There's no going wrong there.
Oh man, and for me, Korean, we bumped into a Korean. Well, actually, it was a cart, food cart,
Yeah.
but that was like the most delicious Korean.
Ooh, yum. Yeah, it's
Tteokbokki.
usually very delicious food.
Mm.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
that's another thing is you get a lot of variety of different cultures and things with food trucks because they're very doable for people,
Hmm.
immigrants or a brick and mortar is hard to get started, but
Yeah.
you can get these food trucks going and really, get these
Yeah.
delicious foods out to people. It's really fun. So there's
Hmm.
like homemade bread where they make the bread,
Yeah.
in the morning, like they get up, they make all this homemade bread and then they
Yeah.
sell it out of their truck. And there's like
Hmm.
people with like old time Volkswagen vans and they just put a table up and sell,
Yeah.
homemade root
Yeah.
beer and, there's just all kinds of stuff. It's really fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, definitely new appreciation for the food truck game for sure.
Love it.
Yeah.
Well, Kim and Katie, maybe we should go mix up some delicious food of our own for a midnight snack. Hey, Kim and Katie, it's been a slice. We've laughed, we've learned, we haven't cried, but sometimes
No,
we do.
Sometimes we do.
we do. Yes. All right. Bye bye, you guys. Take it easy.
Uh, uh, Toodaloo.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Kim and Katie, bye bye.